connection.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. Are you there? Longman, sorry.
Yeah. Please, I'm here with you. I was not with my phone. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, please, who can explain OSI model? Emmanuel, welcome.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry for
Who can
coming.
explain OSI model? Who can explain OSI model?
Okay. Can I try?
Yes, please.
Um, OSI. OSI. It is explains how data traveled another over.
Okay, that's correct. We can okay, model.
S- say like to discover moves net application on one application.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. And when was it?
It's
That's
for
correct. We discussed with you to be able to protect something else, right? You can't defend what you don't know. Is that correct? Okay. So that's what OSI model is all about. It's like a standard recipe or a global rules, right? Guiding how devices communicate across all networks. So I mentioned that, for example, if you're using iPhone and I'm using Android, the next person is using any make of phone, that all the manufacturers follows the same rule, the OSI model rule, like a recipe, a global recipe, so that devices will be able to communicate online without segregation. iPhone to Android, Android, to Apple phone, all that, without segregation. All of them follows this rule, whether it's Samsung or any products, any phone, any devices, all of them must follow OSI model. The company must follow this standardization so that they'll be able to achieve their aim, the common goal of communication across network without segregation. Does it make sense? Do you remember?
Yes.
All
Sure.
manufacturers, they follow the
Yes.
same rule called OSI model. Like it's a global recipe, it's a standard set for all company, all manufacturers to follow. They have to follow that rule. If not, an iPhone user cannot communicate to someone using an Android. Maybe I cannot even send a mail to, or you can't receive my WhatsApp message because you're using the phone. But because of unison, because everybody to communicate, they want everything to be in unison. Declared in 1984. So we also mentioned that OSI model existed because of troubleshooting. It will help network engineers to dictate where a problem or an issue is coming from. It's very easy for them because of the OSI model. like instead of scattering the whole place, checking where is it coming from, could easily detect, oh, this is from layer 7 or this is from layer 1. If it's from layer 1, that's the physical layer. I can say, oh, check the cables, are they well connected? Did you fix it well? Check this one, check that one. Engineer it. Does it make sense to us? Do we remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah,
OSI
sure.
model networking is very, very interesting. Like it's a very, very interesting course. It's research how do the WhatsApp message move? How do I send a mail to someone in a different place and the person receive it? What is the mechanism? How does it work? I don't if other person the way I think, like a deep thinker. How does it work? How long does it take to get to that place? Do you think like that? Do you ever think about it at all?
So sometimes.
Okay. So let's just run it. Seven layers of OS model from the top application layer. The example is like your Chrome that you interface with, your Google, your WhatsApp that you interface with. And then we mention presentation layer. When you type in a message on your Chrome, then it will now move it to the next. In this presentation, that's where we change it, the formatting, encryption, compression, arrange it the way it's supposed to be. Then it will now move it to the next layer, right? What right? Do we know encryption? The quiet. What
Yes.
okay, okay. Um,
Encryption simply means, how should I put it? It's more or less like trying to um make a particular information private in the receive person can read the information.
okay, so I believe maybe if you're trying to send a message on WhatsApp, you see end-to-end encryption. It means no one else can see, right? Information into it, so that only the authorized person will have access to it. Does it make sense to us?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the next layer we talked about section. You said section layer establishes and manages connection. When you open your bank app and then you put in your password, you verify, and it verifies that you're the legitimate owner, the next thing, a connection will be established. When this connection is established, right, you can do your transaction, check your balance, do everything. In case this tell you section to put in it again, be able to ask. Have you experienced it before? Yeah. Thank. And then next one is here. This said that put this data in a way it should be delivered. And we mentioned in transport layer there are some protocols that are involved in transport layers, TCP, UDP, and we mentioned that TCP is very sensitive, right? And when you send in a message, that the network does not deliver your message in bulk. It breaks them into tiny segments called packets, right? It just break them, maybe label them 1, 2, 3, 4, and then send them. And when it gets to there, it will be reassembled again so that it will make sense to the next device. Do you understand? And P, so a protocol in transport layer. This is basically what we use for our video call. Maybe when you're making call, if you can recall, at times when you're making call or you're on a WhatsApp call, a video call, there are times you will not be hearing the person again, right? In UDP, is not operating. If there is that are named, this is back and then request. Understand? Understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. So the link, link can be a link. You know where to take it to delivery, or maybe going to look address like a physical address, is a unique ID that is given by manufacturer. At the back of your devices, you see a mark, you know. So this data link will scatter around. Where are we sending it to? How are we going to send it? Where is the address? So just like when you order something and then the dispatch rider is bringing it to you, you say, "Oh, I'm in number 10 Thomas Estates." You know, that's how it works. How it works. Then the physical layer places domain name system DNS. DNS is often called the phone book of the internet. You know how you have your phone book, you use, names that you can use to remember to save people's names and all that. But DNS in networking, DNS is called the phone book of the internet. Humans prefer easy to remember names like google.com. Sorry, I have the proof of errors. But computers communicate using IP addresses. DNS translate website name into IP address so your device knows where to connect to. For example, when you type maybe in browser, you now find IP address for that Facebook and direct your request to Facebook server. Do you understand? I'm using Facebook now as an instance. When you type facebook.com into your browser, the DNS will find a corresponding IP address and direct the request. So just direct the request to Facebook server directly. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to us? Domain name system,
Yes.
the phone book of the internet. Okay, the next one. Okay, I didn't even read why it matters. So criminals can manipulate DNS records to redirect users to fake websites designed to steal password or financial information. So like essentially, names easily. Always calling Emmanuel Longman Amo, right? I remember your name. But computers uses numbers. They don't understand our own language. They uses numbers and zeros. If you can remember our binary numbers, the numbers and zeros, that's the language of a computer. So DNS, domain name system, it brings this gap. So you don't have to maybe memorize. You want to type maybe facebook.com. Instead of you to be typing, maybe memorizing 0 + 0 + 1 1 1 2 2 2 0, right? When you in facebook.com, this DNS would just, it will not direct it to the where go. It translates to the right place, the right server, to Facebook server where you're supposed to go. Then it will bring back your response. Does it make sense? So like if DNS goes down, it will even be useful. It will be unusable. Even if they are online, but the DNS is down.
We can't hear you. Hello.
Down, it won't be usable. Does it make sense to us? DNS, does it
Yeah,
make sense to us?
yes, coach. But it seems you went out a little
Yeah,
bit.
like the
So
phone book of the internet. Sorry, we are talking.
yeah, I think you went out a little bit. So I didn't hear the other part you were saying. I mean, I don't know whether it
Oh,
was
okay.
the network. Sorry.
Okay, I said, you know how humans understand and remembers names easily. Computer understands numbers and zeros. If you can remember our binary in primary school, that's the language of a computer. So DNS bridge this gap. When you're typing something, instead of you to start memorizing a website and start memorizing 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0, DNS will bridge this gap. So you don't have to start memorizing zeros and ones in order to visit. Maybe you want to visit facebook.com or google.com. Instead of memorizing 0 0 1 1 1 1 1, DNS will now take it and translate it and direct it to the right server where it's supposed to go. It bridges the gap so that you don't need to memorize zeros and ones again. Domain name system. Websites will be nearly unusable. To be nearly unusable. If it's online and that it won't be used. It's yes. Do we understand?
Yes, coach.
Okay. So to know about domain name, why do you need to study it? Why do you need to use it for cyber criminals can manipulate DNS record to redirect us to fake website design in order to steal their password or financial information. So that is the reason we need to know about it and then know how it works, know what to do at every point. Cybersecurity and professional. Okay, the next one is TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. TCP/IP is a set of rules that allow devices to communicate over network. They work as team. So just like we mentioned, IP determines where the data goes, where TCP ensures data arrive correctly and in the right order. Remember, I mentioned that TCP is so it's a set of rules that allow devices to communicate on the internet. So this works together. IP declares the data should go. TCP ensures that the data arrive correctly. So we understand.
Yeah, I'm just seeing your screen.
Same as everything. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
You
yes.
can see my
Same, I can see.
now.
Uh, Let me just find.
Yes, please. Okay.
Yes, coach. Yes. My question is can be hacked or be can attackers hack IP addresses?
Yes. Yes.
Or
Okay. I don't know for Emmanuel. I've the TCP IP address protocol. So we mentioned to when you send your data, IP address we say like is address network address like who we send what's the address. Then this ensures that Ali and other to make sure when you're sending file that this is into smaller pieces. Already know it's packets, right? Them into smaller packets and then assemble the destination. Yeah, Emmanuel, can you see now? Emmanuel, is it better? Can you see now? Okay. Hear us. So Amo, please, what be sending a bulk message to get to the destination? What do you say about sending a bulk message? Or what do we say about sending a message, a data? How does it travel? Does the network send it in bulk or does it break it in pieces or into tiny segments? Amo, can you hear? Can
yes,
everyone hear
coach.
me? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I think you're going out, please. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay,
Very
I
better.
asked a question. How does your data travel? Maybe when you send a message, does it go in bulk or is it broken in pieces into tiny segments?
Yes. You made mention of like computer. They communicate or it communicates in numbers, not. But we tend to say it as words because it doesn't communicate like our language. Yeah. So it transfers the information or the message we post. I mean, I was yes.
got my question. I said this. If you're trying to send a message to me now, or you want to say hello, hi, how are you, or send a message, do the computer send it in bulk or does it break it in pieces, in tiny segments?
Okay, it breaks it in tiny segments.
Okay. What's the tiny, what is it called? What is it called?
I think it is a protocol address.
Okay, let me go. When you send a message, when you're trying to send a message to someone, the computer breaks it into tiny chunks called the packets. So this packet is just like a digital envelope that carries information across a network. When you send a message or you open a web app, a web page, or you stream a video, your data doesn't just go at once. It's split into smaller chunks, which is called packets. Do you understand?
Yes, coach.
Okay, okay. I'll still ask you the same question. Okay,
So okay.
firewalls. Okay, let's look at the firewalls. Firewall is a security system that controls which network traffic is allowed to enter or leave a device. I think we mentioned firewall in our last week class. Am I correct? Did we talk about firewalls?
Yes.
I think we touched it. Okay, firewall is
Yes.
also important to network security. Its primary job is to monitor, filter, and control network based on predefined secrets. So just see firewalls as a security at the entrance of a network or a building. Let's use a security standing at the entrance of a building. And then, or maybe maybe there's a wedding party and then strictly an invitation. So once you just get to the entrance of the hall, you show the security man your IV. And if you don't have the IV, you'll not be allowed in. Does it make sense? Do we understand? Amo, are you confused?
Yes.
Oh,
You went.
sorry about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I was
I'm here
saying,
for some.
firewall acts. Sorry, are you speaking? Amo, are you talking?
No, please, no.
Okay,
Oh, no, 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 please.
okay. So I said firewall acts standing to enter or leave must pass through the security. Only those authorized are allowed to enter, authorized will just be asked to go back. So anytime we send a message or make a request on the internet, or you send a data or anything you are sending over the internet, the firewalls will now check the traffic against the set rules, rules and regulations. This message that is coming, this that is coming, these are our rules and regulation. Is everything like, is it okay? Does it matches the code and conduct, right? So this is the work. Everything coming in, the firewall have to monitor, filter it, check. Only those that are authorized. Just like if you're like a security person, then what is the right thing to use now? Okay, in a company, there are places non-staff, like there isn't out of bound for non-staff. You cannot enter inside there. Only those that have their ID can enter. So the security man was okay, where's your ID? You can access this room, you cannot enter this room. Manage this for the West company. So something work of the fire to monitor, filter, to check what goes in and what comes out of the devices. Thank you. So there is wireless network, of course, our Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi allows devices to connect to network without physical cable. Example, your smartphone connect to your home router through Wi-Fi. So somebody be like, why are we talking about Wi-Fi in as a concept of networking? Weak Wi-Fi or poor security setting can allow attackers unauthorized access. So this is why it's also important to know about. So I think this one is just self-explanatory. We understand this zone, right? Are we there?
Yes, please, coach.
Emmanuel, are you there?
Somehow, the network is disturbing me here.
Oh, so sorry about that. So the next one is network segmentation. Okay, like in our different offices, for those of us that are working, we could see that maybe the router that finance department are using, the network they're using might not be the same that those in admin are using, might not be the same with those in the lab or um, the kitchen, the one they are using, right? So that is what we call network segmentation, or some people call it subnetting. Network segmentation means dividing network into small sections to improve security and performance. So instead of everybody in the whole company, in the whole, connecting to a particular to one router, is being segmented to improve security and performance, and it will even make it faster. Example, a company may separate employees' computer from financial system and guest Wi-Fi network. So just maybe in your house now, the Wi-Fi you give to visitors not the same as the one you use in your house or your household use, right? It's being segmented. That is what's called network segmentation. So somebody asks, why does it matter in cybersecurity? If attackers gain access into one segment, this segmentation will help prevent it from moving across the entire network. So if it's segmented, there's no way they will just gain access to all of them at the same time. Maybe they'll just take it one after the other. Or by the time they will not gain one and then people will raise alarm or their alarm and everything, will be able to detect it and stop it. So segmentation help prevent attackers from gaining access across the entire network. Does it make sense to us? Does it make sense to us? At least you understand with the explanation. I'm not expecting you to grab everything at the same time. Networking is very deep. So let me know if you can hear me.
So, coach, my question is, so the division, how they, the segmentation, dividing the network into smaller segments when companies maybe have separate Wi-Fi's for its employees to use than maybe what the financial maybe guys use. Is that what the segmentation is about?
Okay, so let me use my office as an example, right? So we have an IT department where the server is, where they control everything. And then, like I always said, I work in the hospital. Then there's a nurses station. In nurses station, their own router, you see it's nurses station router. They are the only ones that are connected to that router. Remember, we have the general server down where the IT guys control what goes on and what everything. But nurses station now have their own router, nurses station. People in HMO department have their own. People in admin have their own router. But this whole router, they're also connected to the main server in the IT department. Does it make sense?
Yes,
Or at least
it
that's
does.
how it works in my office. What I'm
Okay.
using is all of them are connected to the server in the IT department. Segmentation is like dividing. Just divide these people. This is your own router. These people, this is your own. Do you understand now? Does it make sense to you?
Oh, yes, I get it now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we have some network threats. So we say some because this is not all of them. I know we've heard of denial of service before. Have you heard of denial of service before?
No, no, please. I haven't.
Okay, Longman, are you there?
No.
Okay, Longman is not here with us. Maybe he's watching football. Okay,
No, no, but
so
he said no. Or okay, it wasn't him. Sorry.
okay, so denial of service. Maybe we've experienced it or we've seen it happen, but we just don't know that this is the name, right? Denial of service. Attackers overwhelms a system, so legitimate users can't access it. They flood the target, that's a system, with more traffic that it can handle. What do you even understand by this traffic? What do you understand by traffic? I was expecting someone to ask that question. What is this traffic we are talking about in networking? Or what do you understand by traffic?
Maybe when too many people are accessing the work or the network is jammed up or
Okay, that's like when you're sending a lot of people are sending messages, using the web repeatedly, like it will overwhelm the system. So when it now overwhelms the system, it will just capture everything and then it will not be usable again. The owner, the legitimate owner can't access it again. They can just encrypt it and then demand for money. We remember our ransomware. Do you remember our ransomware?
Yeah, sure.
So when they now overwhelms the system, you cannot handle it again. They will just encrypt it and then demand for something. Maybe to use your file, access your files or your information to use it against you or something. Overwhelm your system, the more they can handle at a time. And then when it's overwhelmed, they capture it. So does it make sense from the explanation? Does it make sense to you? Emmanuel, do you understand? I expect you to go and make researches too on this. Okay? Okay, the next one is smoothing. Yeah, attackers pretends to be someone or somewhere or the other identifier. So you know the main goal of a threat hacker is to steal and to go to steal and to pretend to be they pretend to be someone or something. They'll now forge the IP address or email header or any identifier.
No, please. For me, I haven't.
Okay. Emmanuel, what about you?
Sorry, I didn't get the
Man in the
question.
middle attack. Have you heard about it before?
No.
Man in the middle attack. Remember we were talking about some network threats. Okay, so man in the middle attack is a type of attack where sorry, I'm using my phone now. The last time about fake hotspots, where an attacker will redirect the traffic and then create a.
Yes, coach. Yes, please.
So the attacker can even maybe just to steal or verify data that is being exchanged between two parties without you knowing that somebody has already redirected this communication. So these attackers often exploit weak maybe web protocols, insecure WI files. That's why it's advisable not to use a public Wi-Fi when you want to access your important information, when you want to access your bank account, anything you see as confidential to you. It's not advisable to use a public Wi-Fi. Instead, you can use a VPN, even though VPN is not 100% secure when you use over a public Wi-Fi. So do you understand man in the middle attack now? Just from the name, man in the middle, two people or three people are having conversation over a business and then someone, a threat actor, breaks the secure connection and then puts an insecure one or a compromised, let me use cybersecurity or use a compromised connection. You just position yourself between the user and the web application. And then whatever you're saying, they're getting the information. You can even create a fake bank account and then send it to you. You think you are still speaking with the same person. And when you now send in your money and then you now discover, oh, you've been scammed or something has happened. So these attackers often in man in the middle attack, they often exploit vulnerabilities, maybe weak password, insecure Wi-Fi network, and so on and so forth. Do you understand man in the middle attack now? Emmanuel, do you understand man in the middle attack now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand man in the middle attack?
Yes, coach.
Okay. Are we on the same page? Do you understand man in the middle attack?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So advise us to read more on this. 2 hours is not, or 1 hour is not enough to gain all the knowledge you want to gain, right? Regarding
Yeah,
networking,
that's true.
it's very broad and deep. So I expect you on your own to go back and look at this concept. What is DNS? How does it work? IP address. There's IPv4 address. There's IPv6. Does it work? What is IP address? What is MAC address? So you have to go back and read and gain understanding. Then you gain clarity. Everything will start making sense to you. But now to just be like gibberish. So that's why I'm just trying as much as possible to, break down the words just the way we can all understand. So I think this is going to be our next assignment is going to be on networking concepts. Write about firewalls, research on IPv addresses, research on TCP IP protocol, firewalls, how does it work, what is the work of a firewall, then some network threats. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm giving us the next assignment to go and research more on the concept of networking, IP address, network segmentation, wireless network, firewalls, research on it, read about it, how does it work, what is
You,
the, sorry?
excuse. Are you gonna post it on the WhatsApp group?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Okay, any question? Any question? I know majority of us doesn't have a system, we are using our phone. But please don't give up. Okay? But so far, how has been the class? How has been the class so far? Are we gaining knowledge? Are we understanding?
Oh yes, we're getting knowledge. But I don't know whether maybe we would maybe do a podcast session with our laptop. So I don't know.
Okay, you have your laptop. I think Manuel said he doesn't have currently. Longman, what about you? I think you mentioned you're using your phone too.
Yeah, sure. I don't have
If
PC.
there's any for it, so but for now, we are doing the basics, the elementary part of cybersecurity. That is also very important. You know, when your foundation is not strong, you will float. So all these things are the basics, the foundation, what we need to know. So do anybody have any question? Do you have any question? Do you have anything to contribute?
Yeah, coach. So you said when we send messages, the network sends it in segments
Longman,
in
do you have any
pieces.
question? I didn't get that.
I was asking that in your presentation you said the network or when we communicate or we send message, maybe WhatsApp network to the to internet your message in segments rather in bits or pieces, and that is what you said is called packets, right?
Okay, yeah, let me go over it again. Let me use another example. Okay, for example, when you want to download something, right? When you want to download a file or a document on the internet, you click on the download button, right? The whole
Yes.
file doesn't really get sent to you at once. You want to download something, it doesn't just get to you at once. Rather, it's being broken into tiny chunks. But you don't know what is going on behind the scene. You just know that, oh, you downloaded something, and then before you know it, it's already in front of you. But behind the scene, when you click on the download button, the whole file is not just, don't just really get to you like that at once. It's been broken down into tiny chunks. And these tiny chunks is what we call packets. It's been broken. So in that tiny packet, that's when it's now being transmitted over the network to your computer. So this packet is just like a tiny envelope that carries, it's like a digital envelope that carries your information across the network. So when I send a message or when I type anything, it doesn't just go like that. It's been broken. Even when you want to send money to your account, or maybe you want to transfer money from your account to the other. I remember the protocol that this uses is this transport, the protocol it uses is TCP. I told you that TCP is very, very sensitive. It first of all break it into tiny chunks. You can give it label 1, 2, 3, 5. The number 5 can get there first, the second can get there first. And when it gets to the destination, it will reassemble. It will now reassemble the message again. I mean, these tiny chunks that it will now reassemble it again, and it will be present. Does it make sense to you, Amo? Do you understand? Amo, do you understand?
Yes, yes, coach. Thank
Okay.
you.
Can you explain it? Can you explain what you understand? Can you explain? Amo, can you explain? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now can you now explain what a packet is?
I will try. I will try. From what you were saying, that
Okay.
when maybe you are transferring money or a message to someone,
Okay.
maybe it does not really go at once, right? Yes, or
Mm-hmm.
yes, it doesn't go at once. It sends it in bits or into maybe little by little.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's
Okay.
what that is what I make of it.
Okay. So when you send a message, it doesn't just go like that. The network is being broken into tiny chunks, and these tiny chunks is what we call
Okay.
packets. Yes, these tiny chunks are broken into tiny chunks, and this is what it's called packets. Remember, I said packets like a digital envelope that carries information across the network.
Yes, please.
Yeah. When you send a message, you open a web page, or your data, it doesn't just go at once. It's being split into tiny, tiny chunks. And mind you, this is very, each packet now will not carry the header. Header contains, I think, the information where this packet is coming from and where it is going to. Then there's a payload. So I don't want to confuse you. Amo, please go and research, read more on packets. Like, read more on packet research.
Okay,
Each
I'll do
packet
that,
has
coach.
a header. Yes, it has a payload. Payload is the actual message itself. The header contains the information where it's coming from and where it's going to. A lot is really happening behind the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just research.
Interesting.
But hope to going to. Okay, any other question? Any question? Emmanuel, Longman, are we good to go?
Yes, man.
Yes, yes, coach.
Yeah.
Yes, coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Machoma, are you there? To us? Machoma, are you there?
Um,
Do you have anything to say with us? To say to us?
for now, I don't know if we've submitted our assignment so far because we have barely 2 weeks. So by next week, I think the cut will be dropping. So for Armor that
Yes.
practice with the laptop, this is fundamental, and we need to get the basics before we get to the practical section. So if you're able to understand the basics,
Yeah.
you'll be able to understand the terminologies and things that we use when you get to the practical section. So this is extremely important. So if peradventure as we been going on that we saw something that indicated that there actually was an improvement and we actually picking up, we would have gone there.